What do they do? Where do they go?
So the Financial Sector Conduct Authority and of course CIRA will play a critical role in that regard, because in our meetings with the FSCA, for example, they told us that the tendency in the private security sector is that a company will be open for a period of 3 to 5 years, and they will not be compliant with paying over the pensions. And when the time for them to be sanctioned comes, that company will close down, be declared insolvent or bankrupt, and then they'll go and open another company with a different name, with different representatives. So that is the culture of avoiding this accountability there. So we'll need, and which is what the ad hoc committee of inquiry in Parliament will be able to do, to be able to subpoena people, not only currently in the industry, those who had run private security companies before, those who have been asset managers, those who have been pension fund managers, those who have been municipal managers, whether you're retired or not, we're able to call you into account, and then we'll be able to hand over cases from that inquiry process to the SIU, to the NPA. So the need for the ad hoc committee of inquiry is crucial, because we must be able to establish the resource base to track down people who've been evading the law through creating various private security companies time after time to avoid workers who seek accountability. A worker who would have worked for a private security company 10 years ago will look for that office now and find that it is a shop or something like that. So we need to be able to do and track down that process, and that needs a committee of inquiry. And one of the avenues we're going to do as well, which is a mechanism in Parliament, is to hold public gatherings and dialogues to allow people to come forward who've been affected by the matter, so that we can trace as many of these workers as far as possible. As the EFF, we've received complaints of about 246 companies from people. This is not part and parcel of the FSCA report in itself. So we're going to keep making that call for people to come forward and not be scared to be victimized. And that's the process that we need to undertake.
I've spoken to a few securities in private security companies. Most of them, their issue is that they get paid sometimes not on time. You'll get that they get paid their salaries on the 7th. Some of them don't even get the entire salary. They would get half, and then half will be paid later. So there are those financial constraints when it comes to them, but they're working very long hours. Do you think part of this is caused by the issue that these companies are not financially managing their finances correctly, which results them into these security guards not getting paid correctly? And I would think that what you are raising, the issue of pension funds, if they are not paid on time, then pension fund would be something that they would not even dream about. Do you think that the reason that the EFF has also called that the insourcing of securities in government is really important, so that you avoid such issues? Is that the line of thinking?
Absolutely. So one of the crises which is happening in that sector is that there's a corruption in the issuing of operational licenses. So people who do not have the financial capacity to run a private security company are able to purchase private security operational licenses from CIRA in itself. So there's corruption in that sector as well. So people who don't have capacity to run a company viably financially, of course, won't be able to pay towards a pension fund. The FSCA raised this concern with us as well. The second concern is that municipalities in South Africa are not only themselves not complying with this Pension Fund Act, Section 13A, they are also contracting private security companies without any financial capacity to not only remunerate workers on time, but to pay towards pension funds. So there's two leaks which are plausibly due to corruption within CIRA and within the Treasury of South Africa. Treasury of South Africa, using government departments, SOEs and municipalities, is contracting companies without the capacity to perform the functions they're supposed to perform, which is pensions is part of them as well. And then secondly, CIRA is issuing operational licenses without doing background checks, verification checks, checking financial records and operational history of these companies. And we have to tackle that as well. So part of the legislative process of the ad hoc committee of inquiry will be to set strict terms and conditions of issuing of operational licenses. It must be run directly from a unit within Treasury that is going to be able to cut the long processes that allow corruption to fester in the same way that we're seeing it at Home Affairs.
Okay.